Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So being from the Mediterranean, it means that I get to travel around here all the time. And one of my most favorite destinations to go to is Greece. I've been going to the islands, I've been to the mainland, and this has been going for about 20 years now, or even more than 20 years. One thing that goes with traveling is eating. And no matter where I go, my first thing is to find the best restaurant, the most local cuisine, and to try everything there is to try. 3 or 4 years ago, when I first went to Creta, which is the southernest island of Greece, tried this amazing, refreshing summer dish, and I fell in love with it. So now, I'll be able to say that this is my most favorite dish from the Greek cuisine, and I'm going to show you how to make it because it's so simple and it requires only 3 ingredients: the tomatoes, the rusk, and the cheese. And that's all, and it's literally 5 minutes. Keep on watching. So I'm going to start off by grinding my tomatoes. For this recipe you don't need to cut them, but you actually need a small grinder like this or a very sharp knife to make a sauce out of your tomatoes. What I love about this recipe is that you can also do it in the winter. But the problem in the winter is that we don't have such juicy and ripened tomatoes. So what I do is I take cherry tomatoes, which are pretty okay in the winter, and with a very sharp knife, I chop them very finely until I get kind of like a chunky sauce. Because the idea of the recipe is that in the summer, if you have some tomatoes that are going bad, or if you're in a rush and you don't want to make like a whole salad, then you can easily use these tomatoes because the riper the tomatoes, the better the Dakos is. Okay, so now I'm ready with my sauce here, and I need to spice it up a little bit now. So I'm gonna put a bit of salt, but not a lot, because then we're gonna have feta cheese, which is quite salty. And I'm gonna put olive oil, of course, I love it, so kind of like a splash of olive oil, because we're gonna put later on more, and a pinch of oregano. Okay, so I'm gonna stir it through nicely so that we get all the spices and the olive oil combined. And we're ready with step 1 and with our first ingredients. So I'm gonna put it aside for a second, and I'm gonna start assembling my dish. On the bottom, I'm gonna put about 2 of these rusks. They're really healthy because they're whole grain. They have so much fiber inside that when you have this dish, you're probably full for like a couple of hours after that. Then on top of the rusk, you can either put a couple of splashes of water, but what I like to do is soak it in olive oil, which of course I can't really do, but there's probably like a tablespoon of olive oil per piece of rusk. Then on top of the rusk, I'm gonna pour our tomato sauce here. Because this is so saucy and the rusk is so dry, it's gonna soak up all the juices, and in about 10 minutes it's gonna be completely ready to eat. It's gonna be really soft. To top it off, our last ingredient and the last step of this recipe, I'm gonna use some feta cheese here. The original recipe comes with misitra, and misitra is a type of a full-fat pork, but because it's really hard to find it in supermarkets around Europe and in the States, I prefer to use feta. And also feta holds its shape in the salad. It's a bit harder than the quark, so it's better to have it on top. Then, for the last thing, I'm gonna put a bit of oregano, of course, my favorite oregano. Oh my god, I put so much. And a lot of olive oil. God, olive oil makes everything so much better. Okay, so here it is, my 3 ingredient, super easy, refreshing summer dish. If you liked it, please give the video a thumbs up or leave me a comment below. Enjoy!